come on. Well, see, you're willing to be playful. You're willing to do those things before the culture, any culture we're in, teaches us to get quiet and kind of fit in. But that doesn't allow you to use your spontaneity. So the way I'm looking at this is this. I don't care what age you are today. I want you to become a kid, just for a couple hours. You can always go back to being an old fart later on if you want to. But I want you to just try being like a kid. And what makes you a kid is you're spontaneous. You want to try anything, willing to do anything. You go back and forth. You're not so passive. How many follow what I'm talking about here? Say, ah. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Shay Shay. So I'll give you a metaphor for this. When I turned 40 years old, I'll never forget, I had a couple of my friends that came to me and said, Tony, man, you go like crazy. You do these 50-hour programs. You know, athletes. You're like an athlete. You're always going, and you really should slow down. And you know, some athletes retire around 40, and I thought, you're obviously the wrong people to spend time with. So I thought, I want to go interview people who have a different mindset. I want to interview people who are over the age of 65, and they're an extreme athlete. An extreme athlete is, they're doing things that 25-year-olds aren't doing at 65. So I spent a year interviewing people, and these people gave me a new standard for what was possible. I interviewed a woman who was 72 years old, and she is a nun, a Catholic nun. And her name is Sister Madonna. Now picture this, if you will. At the age of 40, she had never really exercised in her entire life. At 40, she decided she was going to walk. And she walked 1 block, and the next day 2 blocks. Within a year, she was running marathons. Now, from the age of 40 to the age of 72, when I interviewed her, she's run more than 350 triathlons. And she's done more than 35 Ironmen. Now, think about that. And most of those she's run in her 60s and above. She started running Ironmans when she was in her 60s. So at 72 years old, I'm interviewing this woman who's doing things that 30-year-olds can't do. So picture this. On her 72nd birthday, she flew to Hawaii because they're having this Ironman competition. If you're not familiar with the Ironman, you're basically running a marathon, swimming a couple miles in the ocean, and then getting on your bike for 100 miles. That's fairly intense for anybody, 25 years old, much less somebody who's 72 and female. So imagine you wake up on your 72nd birthday to celebrate, and you decide to start the morning by running a marathon, and then you go swim 2 miles plus, and then now you're on your bike. And imagine you're on your bike and you're going as hard as you can go, and you are passing 35-year-old men. Better yet, imagine you're the 35-year-old man that this 72-year-old woman is passing. Right? And so she gets, true story, she gets to mile whatever it was. I think it was like 65 with 100 miles. So she's 2/3 the way. She's almost there. And then the winds start picking up. And the winds in Hawaii, on the big island of Hawaii, it's a very desolate place because there's been all this volcanic activity and all the trees are gone, and so there's lots of wind. And the wind is coming up faster and faster against her, and she's pumping harder and harder. She's already run a marathon. She's already done her 2-mile swim. She's pumping on the bicycle. And the winds finally got up to 35 miles an hour. And she's just this little short person, you know, that's like 1.5 meters, 5'2", tiny little lady. And suddenly the winds hit 35 miles an hour, and she became the flying nun. It literally lifted her up and smashed her on the rocks. It broke her clavicle, broke her hip, cut her face open. They rushed her to the hospital. So the next year, the people on the committee that run the race said, we should put an age limit on this. Maybe no one over the age of 65. So she flew in to do the race again. They wouldn't let her sign up. So she just went and did it beside people without a number on her and completed the race. And as a result, they changed that. How's that for a great lady with some great courage? Give her a big hand. What human beings can do is incredible. But you got to become a kid again. So you start to remember what you're capable of instead of an adult who goes, oh, yeah, I've tried that before. I interviewed a man, 98 years old, an Italian man, who each year in New York City, they have a race where people sign up for the race and they run up the stairs of the Empire State Building every year, once a year. And obviously, most of the people running are in their 20s, a few in their 30s. This man is 98 years old, running the entire Empire State Building steps to the top as a warm-up to the Boston Marathon. I interviewed a woman 104 years old, 104, on tape got her, who has the world record in the shot put at her age group. But here's what's amazing. Her age group is age 65 and above. which means she's throwing this shot put further than people 35 years younger than she is. My point is simple. If you and I are going to get some value out of this day, besides some information, we got to get ourselves in a different state. A psychological, emotional state where you're like a kid again, where you got that energy. And my metaphor for that is simple. If I'm walking along and I'm, today I'm 47 years old, but I'm still a kid, I use this metaphor for myself. I feel like if I'm walking along, and let's imagine there's been a big rainstorm, something that certainly is easy to occur here, and there's this giant puddle in your way. If you're mentally old, regardless of your physical age, what do you do when you see that puddle in your way? What do you do? Come on, yell it out. What do you do? Come on, what do you do? No, you don't just walk around it. You walk around it and bitch and complain about it while you walk around it. Isn't that what old people do? What does a kid do when they see that puddle there? What do they do? Right? Bam! I'm going to go for it. How many of you are willing to be a kid just for a few hours? You can always go back to being old if you want. Raise your hand and say, I. Now, I don't know why you came here. I don't know what made you decide to give up a day of your life and come to this program. But my bet is there's something you want to improve or change. How many got something you want to improve or change? Raise your hand and say, I. Fantastic. Well, the reason you want to improve or change it has to do with a desire everybody has. So why are you here? What made you come to this program? Yes, sir, right here. Give him a hand, please. Oh, give him a hand. Come on now. What's your name? Where are you from?
My name's Eric, and I live in Singapore, and I came here for the energy.
For the energy?
For the energy, yeah.
Okay, and why do you want more energy? What do you think that's going to give you?
Well, it's going to make me follow through on all the things that I learned at DWD in April.
Oh, very nice. Give him a big hand. Thank you very much. Somebody else, why are you here? Somebody else, why are you here? Yes, sir. Give him a hand, please. Why are you here?
My staff and my girlfriend the chance to see you for the first time.
Oh, your staff. And what are you hoping they'll see?
Tony live and raw.
And what do you hope that they'll get from this? What are you wanting them to get?
New empowering feelings and beliefs for themselves.
Okay.
And for how we operate our business.
Okay. Give me a hand. Thank you very much. So, whatever it is you want, I want you right now to think of a goal or desire you have. Any goal at all. A goal or desire that if you could make that happen, it would excite you. What's something that, like, maybe you don't even totally believe you could get, but man, if you could make it happen, that would rock your world. That would excite you. You'd feel alive. How many can think of a specific goal of something that would excite you if you could achieve it? Raise your hand if you can think of one that would excite you so I can get a good sense if you got one or not. Fantastic. Now I want you to out loud just say, what is that goal? What do you want to achieve? Say it out loud, whatever it is. Nice and loud. Go. What is it? Say it again out loud. Say it out loud. Go. Now, if you were to achieve that goal, how would you feel? That's it, huh? See, if all you're thinking to feel is, yay, your brain's going to go, ain't worth all that effort. My point is this. Everything you say you want, if you said to me, I want to make $100 million, or you said to me, I want to create peace on earth, or you said, I'm just trying to get my children to be happy for 5 minutes, or you say, I want to attract the love of my life. Whatever you say you want, you only want it because you believe at some level it's going to make you feel a certain way. All you really want are feelings. If someone says, I want $1 billion, I go, great. You want 1 billion pieces of paper with pictures of deceased notables on it? No. You want what you think money will bring you. What do you think money would give you? They might say, well, freedom, or security, or power, or the ability to give. But those are all feelings, aren't they? If you say, I want a new car, what do you want the new car for? You say, so I can get from point A to point B. But most people want a specific car because they associate a feeling to it. Sportiness or fun or newness or playfulness or something. Whatever you want a feeling. And yet, most of us have forgotten the feelings we're after, and we've forgotten something else. The feelings that would make you feel so alive, the thing that would make your life feel alive, I mean, more excited, more passionate than ever, they're available to you right now. Because guess what? If you achieve the goal you just said you achieved, that goal you really want, let's pretend you achieved it. You really achieved it. And you're feeling this great feeling. Who's going to make you feel good when you achieve that goal? Who's going to make you feel good? Come on, who?